Hello, Tariq. I'm audible. Okay. So now, today I'm going to start Spring Boot. Today's topic is Spring Boot, and Spring Boot is not a framework. Actually, I think you signed last example. There is more configuration. Spring MVC have need more configuration. So, uh, through the Spring Boot, we can develop a JE application or a Spring MVC application in very easy form, in easy way. We can create, we can execute and configure very easily through the Spring Boot. Okay? We can say Spring Boot is equal to Spring Framework plus embedded HTTP server plus less configuration. Okay, so to the Spring Boot, we develop a Spring Framework application, and we have not need to download and or install uh, any server in our machine. Okay, because Spring Boot application have inbuilt server. Second thing, we have not need to more configuration just like Spring MVC. Here we have need very less configuration. Okay, so Spring Boot is a way. It is not a framework. So the Spring Boot we can develop a Spring MVC application very easily. Okay. So suppose we want to develop a Spring MVC application. So please open your browser. Here, type here Spring Initializer. This is Spring Initializer. Okay, you will get this link start dot spring.io. Please click here. Okay. Here we are going to create a Maven project. So here this is already select. We are going to use Java. Spring Boot you can use any version as you like. Here you can specify the package name. Here Spring Boot step 2 is a jar file. Here we have not need to add the jar file, add the dependency from the Maven uh, repository. We can do this, no problem. But Spring Boot also provides us the facility. We can add the dependency directly at the time of creation of project. So here you can see this add dependency. Click on add dependency. Here type here wave. So we will get a option Spring Wave. Click here. This is a Spring Wave MVC dependency. After that, we can click on the generate and we will get here you can see Java version. I am going to use 17. Click on generate. Okay, and we can save this jar file in download. Okay, so we have easily create this jar file like Spring Boot, the zip file of your project. Okay, After that, we can open download. Here you can see this Spring Boot Web 2, extract it. Okay. After that, we can import in our ID this project, and we can perform any operation, any but on the Spring Boot application. But we have another option also, because we are using STS, Spring Tools. So Spring Tools provides us an option. You can click on File, then click on New, then you can click. You will get an option for this. That is the Spring Starter project. You can click on this option. Okay. Then this window will be open. Specify your project name, Maven. That is the type, jar file, Java, version 70, and this is the group ID, group package name, and project name. Okay, then you click on next. Here, Spring Wave, you can select the Spring Wave. You can select the Spring Wave dependency, and then click on next and finish. Okay, you can see here. So we have multiple options to create the web application, uh, any application of Spring Boot. We can directly from the initializer, we can create it from the Spring initializer. We can create, we can develop the application of Spring Boot. And second thing, if uh, you are using Spring Tool Suite, so the Spring Tool Suite provides us a option, a Spring Starter project. So this option we can create the Spring Boot application. Okay. Yeah, you can see this Spring Web 2. Download it. Okay, this is structure of Spring Boot. This is main file, main class. Okay. Here we are using application.properties file at the place of XML file. Okay. This is application name. Now suppose we want to execute it. So we can execute with server. We have not need to add the server. By default, server is built in this application. So click a run as, then click Spring Boot application. Click on this option. It was already in use. Okay, so we can change the port number. For this purpose, open application.properties, and here we can change the port number. Okay, after that we can execute it. Started Spring Boot Web 2 application. Okay, and Tomcat. Tomcat is embedded this application. Open this. Okay, after that we have need the controller class. New class. We can specify the controller. Here you can specify a name, controller class name, and click on finish. Here declare the controller. They are going to create same application just like last session, last example, but through the Spring Boot application. Spring Boot. Here they are going to create service method, public string, return hello. Okay. Now, okay, execute it. So relaunch it. We have not need to re-execution. Only click on relaunch. This button is relaunch button. Okay. After that, the port number is 808. So here we can call it localhost 8081/home. It's showing error. The status now 404. Here I want to check. Actually, it's executing or not. Okay. Now I'm going to execute it. Showing error. But here you can see this. It's executing. It's accessing. Okay. So actually this is Spring Boot, and by default it's work on web service, RESTful web service. So for this purpose, here we can use response body annotation. Okay. And again relaunch it. Okay. And you can see this. It's working. So through the RESTful web service, we can send the response directly on the browser. We have not need to use JSP or any front end. We can directly send the data on the web browser. Okay. But we use here response body. Okay. Second thing, here you can see this is the first page. Here you can see here this is the Spring application. This is a implemented class of IOC and run method. And here Spring Boot application. There is a notation. Namely Spring Boot application. So at the rate Spring Boot application is a combination of component scan plus configuration plus enable auto and auto configuration. Okay, so actually Spring Boot is a combination of component scan plus configuration plus enable auto configuration. Actually Spring Boot provides us auto configuration. Okay, so Spring Boot application annotation is a combination of component scan plus configuration plus enable auto configuration. Okay, same thing. REST controller is a combination of controller plus response body. Here I use response body, but at the place of this, we can use REST controller because REST controller is a combination of controller plus okay controller plus response body. Belongs our application again, and now suppose we want to change the message. Then advance then this again. Then you can see this hello advance. We can use REST controller at the place of controller plus response body. Okay, first thing. Second thing, that is it. Actually, by default, Spring Boot works on REST controller. API of REST controller is already inbuilt in the REST controller. In Spring Boot, we have not need to add any dependency for REST controller, REST API. By default, it's working on REST API. We can only need the REST controller and we can use the REST API. Okay, but suppose we want to use JSP, just like last example. Okay, suppose here I'm using but I want to use Spring, sorry, JSP in the front end. So for this purpose, here you can see this. I have already a project of Spring. It is structure for JSP. Okay, so here you can see this first application, and here is a controller. And if you click on home, so it will return a index. Index is a file name of JSP file name. Okay, you can return from here, and where is the location of index file. For this purpose, we will create a folder web app in main, a web INF within the web app, and JSP folder within the web INF, and we can create a index.jsp file. Okay. After that, you can see here this is the welcome. Okay, we can do this. So if you want to use JSP file as a front end, Just like last example, in Spring MVC, we have need to create this structure in main web app, in web app, web INF for subfolder, and web INF folder have a subfolder, name is JSP, and JSP have index.json file. Okay, and this is a demo.java file. This is a demo.file. It returns the index file name and how to get this location. So, internal view resolver here we have not need to that class at the place of this. We use spring.mbc prefix, and here we declare the prefix, and here this is the suffix. After that, we can execute it. For this purpose, I'm going to execute this. Port number 81, 8081 was already used. So, first of all, I'm going to class this, close. I'm going to try to execute it. Root application, executing 8081, and this is the controller class I want to create. It's called index file, and index file existed. This for here for this purpose. Home education is the right. Okay, so here you can create anything like HR here, form. You can specify here username. Okay, this it relaunch this. Okay, now we want to execute it. Execute this. Refresh it. Okay, here we can input anything as you like and click on. Now we want to get these values in service class. For this purpose, we will create another for logging, and we can create another file like display to display the content. For this purpose, here I'm going to create another JSP file. Copy this. Can specify the name like display. Click on OK. And here I want to show the values for this purpose. Videos, MNC, and here log it. We want to get the values from the front end. For this purpose, we can use request column, union, string, user, same as request column, pwd, okay. And here we can create a string msc str is equal to welcome plus usr plus vr password plus string css comma model. Okay. css css save this file. Okay. We can add this message in model same as last example. MSG sphere. Okay, plus here we are using uh, Spring Boot at the place of Spring MVC. Then we launch the rules. We can put any value. Okay, it's working. This simple example of the Spring Boot, but here I am using Spring Boot at the place of Spring MVC. But Spring Boot is also using Spring MVC. Okay, so we can create a web application, a JE application, and a Spring application uh, through Spring Boot very easily. Okay, same as suppose we want to perform a RESTful web service, it is also possible here for this purpose. Suppose I have another, okay, suppose we want to perform RESTful web service. So here we use REST controller at the place of controller, and it will return this value. You can transfer any value. Save this file. Go to stop this first example. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to execute it. Where I'm using RESTful web service. Localhost. So this is hello advanced. So actually, here you can see this. If you want to use RESTful web service, we have need only REST controller. But if you want to use JSP, so we have need a jar file, a dependency of JSP. Like here, you can see this is a Spring starter, this is a Spring web dependency, and this is a dependency of Jasper, Tomcat embed Jasper. If you want to use JSP in a front end, so we have need of this JSP folder, JSP dependency. Okay, a RESTful web service. So the RESTful web service here you can see here we have need only the REST control annotation and we can perform each and every operation. Okay, but suppose to the REST controller we can get the input, any types of input like get input, put post, and delete. So here for this purpose, REST controller provides us different annotation. Suppose we want to send a request as a get. For get, we have get mapping. For post, post mapping. For put mapping. Delete, delete mapping. Get mapping. If you want to fetch the record from the database, we use get mapping. If you want to insert the record in database, we use post mapping. If you want to modify already exist record in the database, we use put mapping. If you want to delete any record, we use delete mapping. Okay. So here we can use get map, get mapping at the place of request map. Okay. You can see this. Okay. Now I'm going to execute it. Is it three? Now I'm going to execute it. can perform same operation through this get family. Okay.